Tourism is big business. So here in New York State in 2022, which is the most recent data we have, that economic impact, $79 billion in spending across the state from visitors. That $123 billion in total economic impact, supported almost 700,000 jobs, which is 7.2% of New York State's workforce is affiliated with tourism. With a combined income of almost $40 billion, it gets spent back in our communities on groceries, on car insurance, on housing, on clothes, on all the things that we buy, and that 10 billion in state and local taxes. So what does that mean? In each household in New York State, if we had to make up for that visitor spending, if it all went away and those taxes generated from visitors, each household would have to pay $1,300 to have the same services provided through our government, state and local, that we get from visitors. So breaking down that $79 billion in visitor spending, the top 5 areas of spending, number 1 is lodging. So for all of you, that could mean maybe you have a farm stay, or something that you rent on Airbnb or other, where people can come spend the night at a farm. Dining, food and beverage is number 2 at 20 billion. Do you have a cafe? Do you have other types of selling your food products on site? And that's the same thing with the next category is retail spending. 14 billion. Do you have a farm stand or a specialty shop where people can buy your products? The next one at 11 billion is transportation, and then finally 7 billion is recreational spending for different kinds of activities and things. This map has a lot going on, but just know that there's 11 vacation regions in New York State. And you can see here, Chautauqua, Allegheny, Greater Niagara, Finger Lakes, Thousand Islands, Seaway, Adirondack, Central New York, Capital Saratoga region, Catskills, Hudson Valley, New York City, and Long Island. So 62 counties across the state in these 11 vacation regions, and each county has a tourism agency designated by their county government to receive matching funds from I Love New York for marketing their county or region outside of their region. And so those are 50-50 matches, and they only go to your tourism office. So there's lots of different kinds of tourism offices. There's TPAs, there's CVBs, there's DMOs. So what's the difference, and does it matter? TPAs are tourism promotion agencies. Every county has one. If you wanted to see the list and find yours, you can do it at that URL, iloveny.com/industry. And on that page, you'll see a list of those. You can click to a link there. These are the designated organizations within each county to receive those matching funds. It's a 50-50 match. Most of the 62 are county government departments. There are CVBs then. These are convention and visitor bureaus. They might also be TPAs or DMOs. So convention and visitors bureaus are exactly what you think they are. They are in counties or cities that have big convention centers, and they are tasked with bringing large meetings and conventions to their communities, as well as other tourism attraction efforts. And then you have DMOs. Duchess Tourism is a DMO and a TPA. We are the designated destination marketing organization for the county of Dutchess. And so we have that TPA designation to get those matching funds, but we're a little bit more than that. So they're in the state, there's 20 of them. And you can see here the list: Thousand Islands, Albany, Binghamton, Buffalo, Cooperstown, Otsego County, the Finger Lakes, Ithaca, Lake George area, Lake Placid, Long Island, Niagara Falls, USA, as opposed to Niagara Falls, Canada. New York City Tourism and Conventions, there's kind of that CVB name: Oneida County, Rochester, Discover Saratoga, Schenectady, Syracuse, and the Sullivan Catskills of New York. So does it matter? And the answer is it does, because each of them have varying scopes of work. Some focus on one or all of these things. Everybody is looking for domestic leisure travel. Some of them are also after group travel, think domestic or international, but these are like those big bus groups that come through. FIT is for foreign or frequent independent travelers. We do a lot of international marketing because we're really close to New York City. So it's very easy for international visitors to fly into JFK or Newark or even Stewart Airport over in Orange County, and then to come up to the Hudson Valley. If you're near the Canadian border, you might get a lot of Canadian visitors. So we spend time and money and dedicated staff to bringing those international visitors here because they stay longer and they spend more money. So that's an important market for us. One of the things we don't really do is MICE. That's meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, because we don't have a convention center at all. So we're not, and we don't have big meeting space. We'll do small meetings, but not big ones. But then you'll see some of those bigger cities attracting those. Look at Albany that just had the NCAA women's basketball tournament in there for March Madness. So those are big sporting events, and big cities can do things like that. We can't do that. All these 62 counties have varied budgets and staff sizes. So I have 9 on my team, including me. The county just south of us, Putnam County, has 1. The county north of us has 3. If you go to one of the bigger cities, they have 30 or more. If they're running a convention center, they have a lot of staff there. If they have a visitors and welcome center, they have a lot of staff there. So they're very different depending on where you're at. One of the other things to consider, some of them are membership organizations like a chamber of commerce. So if your business isn't a member, you don't get member benefits or to generally work with them. They may offer things to the general community that are free and that you can attend or you could pay and to go to once in a while. And that would be something I would suggest you consider. So here's some 10 ways to help your TPA or DMO help you. Number 1 is get to know them, get to know their staff, get to know what they offer. Hospitality and tourism is all about relationship building. And so you have to put in the time and effort to get to know these folks who want to help you. Make sure, and I cannot stress this enough, that your information is correct not only on your website, but also on social media and your Google listing. Make sure they match and are current. During the pandemic, this was especially important. It was very hard for us to help people understand what was open and available to them because websites would say one kind of information, social media said a different one, Google said another one. Nobody would answer the phone. People were answering emails, and we couldn't get the right information. And if you aren't consistent, people aren't going to come to you because they're not going to take time to come visit you if run the risk that you're not open. They're not going to be as persistent as me. Please, if you have high resolution images and videos, share it with them. They're going to love getting your information and your photos because we use them everything. Content is king. Videos on our website, short form vertical video for Reels, for Instagram and even on Facebook, but TikTok and all those kind of things. Some of them can pay people to come in. Some of these beautiful photos you're seeing in my presentation today, we have an ad agency and a team we work with, and we've been able to have them come in and film for us for about 2.5 days for the last couple of years. We always have a farm in the mix there, at least one. And so we're able to capture some of those beautiful images on our own. But a lot of places can't, and they don't have the budget and they don't have the money. So if you have a really good camera, iPhones are a little bit hard. You're not going to get the 300 DPI, generally speaking, that you need for some of these. So if you have a good camera, you know somebody, or you can do a barter swap with somebody to get great photos, and then you give them cool product, you might get that, but your DMOs will appreciate that. Let them know what's going on in your business. Do you have a big anniversary coming up? Did you add new activities and events for people to enjoy? If they have an event calendar, send them your event. Or if, in our case, you're one of our partners, you can upload your event to our calendar, and then we can put it on I Love New York, and then our Hudson Valley Region Tourism, and then other types of calendars that only we have access to. So take advantage of that. Subscribe to their newsletters. We have a consumer one for visitors and residents looking for things to do, but we also have an industry one. So that's where we list our free lunch and learn seminars, conferences. Path Through History is coming up. They do it in June and they do it in October. This is a New York State promotion through I Love New York, and your farms can be a part of it. So whether maybe you have a century farm or something else, any kind of his programming that you have that's history related, you can have that extra promotion by being a part of I Love New York's Path Through History. And your local people can find it. You can probably just Google it and sign up. If you're not sure, you can always email me and we'll let you know how to get involved with that. So that's another extra level of promotion. Because if you don't know what's going on, you can't take advantage of it. We want you to take advantage of everything. There's no cost to do Path Through History or anything else like that. Engage with your DMO on their social media accounts, like stuff, share your stuff, and you might get reshared. Offer to participate in familiarization tours for media or tour operators. These FAM tours are when we bring travel writers, influencers, other folks to our destination to have some experiences. Because we all know that you can read about an experience, but if you have that experience yourself, you're going to be better at telling other people about it. You're going to be more excited about telling other people about it. If you have an opportunity, and it's not right for every journalist that comes through, they have different interests, their audiences are different. So whenever it fits, if you have a good relationship with your DMO or your TPA and they're bringing people here, you might be a good fit for them for that. And they will let you know if you're a good partner. Take advantage of cooperative marketing opportunities. So one of the things for us, an example of what we do is we go to consumer travel shows. So we go to the New York Travel and Adventure Show. We've done the Travel and Adventure Show in Chicago and Denver and Washington, D.C. There's one in Atlanta. We've done one in the Bay Area of California, depending on what we're doing with our marketing. And we have cooperative marketing opportunities. Most of what we offer is at no cost to our partners, but this is a paid partnership. So you can go with us, you can man the tables, you can talk to people one-on-one. We put your rack cards out for people to take. So there's different kinds of cooperative marketing opportunities that might be available to you through your TPA or your DMO. If they host networking events, go. Meet other tourism related businesses, not just other farms, but that's good too. But meet hotel people, meet people who are in the history community, meet people who are in arts. Maybe they want to host an plein air painting event at your farm or business there. Work on those networking opportunities to find people to collaborate with. Because when you can work with other partners, you can make an event that maybe is bigger than what you could do by yourself. That's really attractive for visitors to come to. So a good example of that is in Dutchess County, there's a group of young farmers. Some are family farmers through generations, some are new farmers, and they created this alliance, and they have, as a part of it, a farm distillery. There is a cheesemaker. There's a dairy farm with milk and honey and other products. There's maple syrup farm. I know there's other people I'm forgetting. But what they did was they planned in the past, they did a fall and a spring farm days. So from our main population centers, they're about 45-ish minutes away. And people might not go out to visit just one of those farms, but when you create a day of activities of all these nearby farms and people can hop from one to the other, suddenly it's an event. And then a lot of people are going to come because they're going to have a great day in the country. It's beautiful. They're going to eat great food. They're going to taste great beverages, and they will make that trip because it's for a bigger thing. So that's a good example of ways you could collaborate with your neighbors. There are lots of ways to partner with your DMO or your TPA. If you want to see what ours are, if you go to duchesstourism.com, and at the top of the screen on the right, there's a button that says partners, and you can see some of the things there. But for example, promotional assistance. We list our tourism related businesses on our website. We produce a travel guide every year. We have other brochures and guides that may or may not be appropriate depending on what kind of thing they're offering and what you offer. Social media, we like to share things and find out what's going on to give people more information. So there's opportunities. The same thing with media pitches. Dutchess County and the Hudson Valley are very strong foodie destination because we have the Culinary Institute of America, because we have many graduated chefs who live here and other chefs who have a really high A game when it comes to farm to table foods. So there's a lot of times I'm able to talk to the media about why our restaurants are so good, and it's because the ingredients are so good and the skills of the chef. So last year when I was in London at Brand USA's Travel Week, talking to top journalists from all over Europe and the UK, and they're asking about our food scene here. One of the things I was able to do is really point to our farms, point to our producers, point to the relationships our farmers have with our chefs. It was key, and it got written up a lot, including in Travel and Leisure, India and Asia, where it highlighted the Hudson Valley as one of the top 5 must visit foodie destinations in the world. So that all comes from those relationships we build, those pitches that we have. If you have special programs and events, we're going to talk through some Duchess examples in a little bit. They might offer education and training. We offer a lot of free educational opportunities, including on the right is an ad we did. We got ARPA grant money, and we were able to establish a Duchess Tourism Ambassador program. So we could train, a lot of our farmers have gone through it, and people, those frontline visitors, so they can help visitors have an excellent experience, and then also refer them to the other things around them. So we expand that economic impact of that visitor, because maybe they didn't know about the wonderful restaurant down the road, or the really cool historic site nearby, or a fantastic garden, but because our ambassadors told them, instead of going home, they went to those and then spent money at those places. We also offer lunch and learn seminars for free. We did one this year on TikTok, finding out, is it right for your business or not? It's not right for everyone. We did one on creating vertical video reels that was excellent. We just had one with working with the film industry, which was sold out, free, but, standing room only. So your DMO might offer those kinds of experiences that you should take advantage of. And we do some one-on-one consultations too. If people have ideas they want to bounce off us, they say, hey, before I go invest in this particular thing, what do you think? What kind of information do you have? And that brings us to research and data. Your DMO might have visitor profile information they can share for you. They might have information on big events and things coming up where, it's college graduations at multiple colleges, and parents are going to be looking for things to do with their students. Do you have an activity that you could partner with them on? Maybe you partner with the college to say, hey, we're offering this, we're going to give a 10% discount to grads and dads for Father's Day, or whatever it is. Take advantage of what they have to offer. We talked about networking events and presentations. We do industry awards and recognitions. We have 2 programs. One of them is our Hospitality Heroes program, and that's when our board or staff are out and we're at a restaurant or a hotel or a gallery, and we meet a frontline worker who gave us excellent service. We give them little cards just to say thank you. We take their picture, we promote them on social media. So that's good for the business, good for the employee. And then we also do the Duchess Tourism Awards of Distinction every fall now. And so we've had a number of farms and agritourism folks win those awards. There's a bunch of different categories. So see if there's something in your neck of the woods that is similar. Nominate yourself, get your friends to nominate you, whatever it is. Look out for those kinds of things, because they're great opportunities for promotion and recognition for the hard work you're doing. Are you ready to welcome groups? If you want group business, there are certain things to know. So those coach buses can seat 36 to 60 people, depending on the size. Can a bus safely drive on your property? Is the road wide enough? Is it paved so they won't sink in the mud that we know is going to come when it's rainy? Are there tree branches that hang down that would prevent a bus from driving through to you? Think about those things. Do you have enough bathrooms to accommodate a group of that size? You can't just assume that they're going to all use the bathroom on the bus. If there is a bathroom on the bus, they're going to want a rest break. Can you split a group up? If you've got 60 people, you know what that's like to try to present to 60 people at your place. It's better if you can do some kind of rotation and split the group up, whether you have part of them go do a tour, part of them do a tasting, part of them spend time in your gift shop. Your gift shop, if you have one, or your retail space, probably can't hold 60 people. So how are you going to shift them through? Because you do want them to spend money with you. Other things to consider, bring in a partner to enhance that experience. Make it fun, think outside the box. So one of the things that we did last year, our county historian did a presentation at Rose Hill Farm to talk about bootlegging, during Prohibition, that hard cider, what happened at one of our apple orchards. And it was packed. Everyone loved it, had a great time. They spent money at the bar, they spent money on food at the food trucks, and it was just a really fun night on the farm. Think about if you have a local chocolatier, maybe they do some kind of presentation and tasting at a dairy farm. Think about brewers doing a talk and tasting at a hop farm. Think about a winemaker coming to a cheese farm, or a cheese farmer coming to a winery and doing a presentation and tasting event, how to pair them together. So there's fun things that can be done. Think about make and take activities. These are better for small groups. And maybe you're already doing these, but things like goat milk soap making, or beeswax candles, or making swags at your Christmas tree farm, or bouquets at a flower farm. We've gotten a lot of new flower farms here lately, and I love it. Cooking classes with chefs, using your products, all of that are great. Think about this. We had a few years ago Crown Maple Syrup, a big maple syrup production facility here. When they open, and this is a big deal, and I know that maybe not everyone can do this, but you can transfer this idea. So we had Hudson Valley Restaurant Week. And one of the ways they wanted to get themselves known was to have chefs use their product, not just for pancakes, but they had a contest for the chefs during restaurant week to produce. There was one for an appetizer using syrup, one for an entree, one for a dessert, and one for a cocktail. And so there was fine money prizes, and it was a lot of fun, and it went a long way to getting those chefs to using their products. So things to think about. What about weddings? And this is a zoning question, so not every place is zoned to welcome groups and weddings and things like that. So you want to check with your local regulations. But here in the Hudson Valley, farms are very, very popular locations for destination weddings and proposals in the Hudson Valley. Great source also for decorations, for favors, for gift bag items. I've been to weddings where people gave cider donuts out. I've helped make candy apples for weddings, a whole long list of things. Think about what you might offer. Maybe you attend a bridal show and you bring some of your products so people can see, so they're thinking out of the box. They don't want, something the boring, but maybe something special from the place where they got married that they want people to take home. These are just some of the pictures of some proposals and some wedding venues in the Hudson Valley here in Dutchess County. Films. Are you ready for your close-up? In the Hudson Valley, we're not going to talk about last year because we had those strikes, but the year before, $62 million was in direct spending happened here in the Hudson Valley. Farms are always requested, lots of them. As Jen mentioned, we literally did have someone who wanted to film a scary movie in a cornfield here in May, and we had to break it to them that was not going to work for them. But if you check with your TPA, because a lot of them are also film offices. So your TPA or your DMO might be also your local film office. If not, get in touch with your film office. Say, hey, I would like to be considered for a location. Everyone does it a little bit differently. Here in Dutchess County, we just refer. So we have a database and a SmugMug photo gallery. So when location scouts come to us, they can say, hey, I'm looking for a barn in a field by a creek with a horse fence, and it has to be looking run down. So don't feel like you need to have a pristine place. A lot of times they want things that aren't perfect because they want it to look real. And so if you would like to be considered for a location, then you do all the negotiating yourself if they choose you. A lot of times those are last minute fast requests that you have to respond to quickly. So by us having a database for our local places, we can refer quickly. So check in with your local film office as well if you're interested in this kind of thing. Life and Beth on Hulu, they filmed at Malaya Estate Winery and Vineyards here. A Quiet Place was a farm, an old farm out in Pauling. They dirted over part of the road. They rebuilt a for one of the scenes, a silo inside a production facility, but they did filming of the actual one outside. So there's a lot of opportunities there. Some of our promotional efforts, think about media in 3 different ways. There's paid media. This is where you're spending your money right now. Organic social media. If you have something especially important that you want to get the word out about, pay to boost that post. We do connected streaming through Hulu and Roku and other things, podcasts and radio, some out-of-home digital subway boards, billboards along the highway, those kind of things. And then you also have earned media. So these are those PR efforts. We're doing fan tours with journalists. It's also worth, and you can do this too. If you got a local radio station, maybe a great morning show, try to get on it. Get to know people. You know, I go once a month and do a segment with Q92. It's an iHeartMedia station here. Last week I recorded a podcast with one of our other radio stations. It's a hour-long podcast. It's called In Touch. And so it goes out across all their stations, and I get to talk about all the things going on here. If you think you would be a good guest, or somebody on your team is passionate about what you have to offer, and you're a good speaker, you know, connect with some of those folks at those stations doing those. Or if you've got cable TV, invite them to come to the farm to do a live broadcast, or whatever it is. Think about those things for you as well. And then there's our own media, and you have these too. You have a website, social media channels, anything that you produce, printed materials, digital materials. We have an e-newsletter with a lot of subscribers. These are examples of some of our agritourism related ads that we've done. You see that top center one is a digital GIF. We like to promote all seasons, and we're lucky that we can do that. You know, everything from our maple farms to strawberries to U-picks to farmers markets to Christmas tree cutting. Try to focus on all of those things for us. Again, those own media channels, we have a regular Facebook page, but we also have a dedicated Duchess Food and Farm Experiences page. And so, you know, like us, follow us, share. I just want to point out, I threw this URL in at the bottom this morning on Facebook and Instagram too. If you're there, follow Adams Fairacre Farms. This is a business that's more than 100 years old, that started as a farm stand. Lots of local products. They do it all. So we don't have Wegmans here, but this is close to them. We love Adams. So follow their social media. Their people are fantastic. They just posted a fantastic video with Dr. Sam Simon, who is the head of the group of Hudson Valley Fresh Dairy Farmers, to learn all about that. They have a guy named Ronnie, and he pops on every so often in funny clothes and costumes to talk about different vegetables and fruits and things, and they're a great inspiration for cooking and for our farms and for food. So just check them out, because I think they're awesome. Duchess Tourism, we consider ourselves a trusted resource for everything to see and do and stay. And so your DMO is going to have a similar kind of thing with a website. They're going to have listings. They're going to have different spotlights. They're going to have maybe some itineraries. They might show some photos and video galleries. These are some of ours. This is our farm and food landing page that we have. You can see we have a link to a page on tours and events, recipes. We did a ton of recipes during the pandemic. So we asked our farms, maybe you have great recipes that you want to share with your DMO, or in a newsletter, if you want to create a newsletter list and send out one a month, say, or here's what's in season and here's what we did with it. Take great photos of it, take a video of a how-to if you want to. All of those are really popular. We have our specialty shops listings, our farmers markets listing, our farms map, a pick your own harvest chart so people know what is available in what season. And then again, some of those other things that we've been talking about all along. Make sure your information is correct, share your photos and vertical video, post your events on those calendars. If you go on your DMO's website and you see photo galleries and video galleries like this, They're using a platform called Crowdrift that we also use. And on ours, there's a button you can push to upload your own photos and video. That is a great way to share your stuff with folks. These are all photos from our farm and food page, obviously. We have different ones for different pages and seasons and things like that, but showing real life people in our destination having great experiences at our farms. We have a number of videos that we're lucky enough to be able to create that live on our YouTube channel. Everything from our Air Duchess series, which focuses on a lot of great aerial footage. We did these during the pandemic, re-released them. There's one on Fishkill Farms there. We have a Keepers of the Craft video talking about our craft beverage producers, especially our farm producers. We have some fall videos. Brought to you by the letter F. We were saying that year we had a campaign, everything to do in Duchess A to Z. You can see also bought by the letter C, cider tasting, apple picking. And I want to share this video with you. Let me turn up my sound and move my speaker over. This is our Harvest Memories video.
We're all both farmers. We all plant seeds. Seeds are fine.
So there's a 30-second version of that, which we just watched. There's a 15-second. Some of the times those shorter videos are more popular with social media. Just did that. Next slide. Maybe. All right, here we go. This is our Discover Duchess Destination Guide. We publish ours annually. Most tourism offices do some form of this. It covers a whole lot of things, everything from events to hotel and restaurant listings to attractions to a map, talking about all those different sections. We have family fun, farms, weddings, groups, etc. Whoa, that's not what I want. Sorry. And then we have detailed companion brochures. So we can't fit everything. You're getting me captions now. You can't fit everything into the big destination guide. It's an inspiration guide. It is not a listings guide. And so here we have the farm map. And we have a listing that shows all the places in Dutchess County where you can do activities at farms. We have a farm market section. There's a section showing different itineraries by season. There's a page showing our farm-based craft beverage producers, the specialty shops. I love this brochure. And then we have our Pick Your Path. So there's a company called Bandwango that a number of tourism offices work with. And we created 4 passes last year, actually 4 passes in 2022, 4 passes in 2023. One of those is our Farm Finder Pass. One is our CIA Chef Finder. One is the Taste Finder. There's different ones, the Inspiration Finder. There's the Family one, the Connection Finder. So you can find ways to participate if your area has something like that. So just one of the things I want to reiterate is getting to know your DMO partners is really important. Answering their emails is really important. Following them on their e-newsletters is really important because our Farm Finder, we have a lot of farms in the county that have activities. We offered this program to all of our farmers. And so we said, hey, do you want to, it costs you nothing to participate. It's a check-in challenge. And so there are 14 participants in this program. We have a lot more farms than that, but it's the people who answered their emails, who responded to us, who followed the instructions and got on the pass that are getting this extra promotion. But it was offered to everyone and not everyone took advantage of it. And here's a video that I want to show you that highlights this pass.
Dutchess County. Team moves a little further. Here it's more like farm to hard conditions.
Oops, sorry. Okay, we really love that. And that's it. So happy to answer any questions that you have. Think about all the different ways that you can work. I hope this gave you ideas and suggestions and got your brain spinning on ways to work with your local DMO and TPA.